Alright, welcome back to another Embrace Destiny video, everyone. Today we are going to talk about the raids and the importance of teamwork. So before we get started, I'm not sure if you noticed, but my profile picture both on Twitch and YouTube has been updated. You can thank my lovely girlfriend for that. You can see her playing in some of my Girlfriend Plays Destiny videos, but she designed the art piece and surprised me with it. So yeah, I really love it. It's great. So I've added it to my profile pictures and gonna go forward from there. So moving on to that, we are going to talk about raids and teamwork, as I mentioned. So recently, just let there we go. Recently, some friends and I, we worked on the, we attempted the King's Fall raid, which is the second raid in Destiny, and spoiler alert, we didn't get through it. You can find the entire stream on my Twitch channel under my highlights, and I may make a shortened, edited version here for YouTube later. But, let's talk a little bit about the raids. So, for those of you who aren't that familiar or need a refreshment, Destiny has a multitude of single and multiplayer story missions. They also have the multiplayer arena, the Crucible, which you've seen before. But their single player campaign is unique in that you're actually able to bring on friends. Usually, most story missions you're able to bring on 2 other friends in a 3-person fire team and go fight, you know, the enemies of the tower. Now the raids are quite special because they are missions that are meant for a larger fire team. Generally, they deal with some of the larger threats or the more mysterious locations in the game, and they are designed both in the difficulty and strength of the monsters, and the puzzles and mechanics are designed for more than 3 players. So you can bring up to 6, and that's usually what they're for. Now, there have been a lot of people who have the raids have been out for quite a long time, and there have been a number of people who've gained enough experience that they're able to beat the raids with fewer than 6, but the entire point is to... The entire point of the raids is to beat them with a larger team and overcome a more dangerous foe. So, my friends and I, we've been kind of slow into raiding. It took us quite a long time for us all to get on the same system, the same console, and to develop enough experience that we could take on the raids together. However, since there's only 3 of us, the raids have been incredibly challenging, read impossible to beat. It's almost impossible to beat most of the raids with only 3 players, just because some of the mechanics prohibit being able to complete it. Sometimes you need more than 3 people to step in the right pressure plate or activate the right mechanism, and so we only recently, a couple of weeks ago, beat the first raid, the Vault of Glass, which again you can find on my Twitch channel. One moment. There. A little peace and quiet. So, this is actually quite brilliant design on Bungie's part, because they make a game that has end game levels that require so many people, and often that means that people are going to have to go out and reach out and meet new people in order to expand their fire team and beat the raid. This opens up the community and allows players to make new friends and to join together on these epic quests. Now, it has held us personally back because it's taken us so long to get together into our team, and also we've been a little bit hesitant to go out and reach out and meet new people. We're not antisocial people, but we've all had kind of the same concerns when it comes to teamwork, which is what I want to discuss. When you play, when you do any kind of activity, team projects or video, playing a sports or playing in a video game, the people you're with can often define your experience. Whether the experience is challenging or easy, or the mechanics are difficult or rewarding, it's the people that who you're with, that often define whether or not you're going to have a good time. Now, we've wanted to beat these raids together, so we've made sure that none of my friends have just gone ahead and tried to beat a raid themselves or require some coordination. But on top of that, we've slowly begun meeting new people in the community and expanding our team in order to tackle these raids. I've been very hesitant about doing so because we all have our different styles, we all have our different techniques, and it's kind of a unwritten rule that my friends are looking for more casual, relaxed player, maybe an older player who's mature enough to understand that there are difficulties with schedules and sometimes life happens and you're not able to complete the quest. Oh, looks like I got 2 viewers right now, so hello. If you're watching on YouTube, maybe there's more than 2, but anyway, I like to say hi now and then. Anyway, so yeah, we've had kind of these unwritten criteria for people, and sometimes it's hard to find that. A lot of the video game community is younger and possibly more tolerant of profanity and less tolerant of life getting in the way of video games. So it's taken us a while to find our group, and we found a good group of people, and we started playing the raid, and as I mentioned before, we didn't beat it. Now, it's important to note that we didn't beat it not because of any kind of teamwork issues, but simply because the King's Fall raid seems to be a really long mission. I mean, it seems to be twice as long as the Vault of Glass. We played it for 4 hours, and we made pretty good progress, but we were only halfway through. It was pretty intense. But as we were playing, I started thinking about the important properties of teamwork and how fortunate I was to be playing with a good group of people, a good team, and why waiting was the better option here. So what am I going on about? What the hell am I talking about? So basically, the first thing that came up when we were doing the raid was communication. We had 6 people on the party, 6 people trying to communicate and coordinate themselves, and that's difficult. That is very difficult to do over something like the party chat available in these games. And that was a bit struggling at first. The second thing I had to deal with was the concept of leadership and priority. So when I brought everybody together, I had my close group of friends, and I knew some of these people from online, so I brought us all together. But I didn't want to be the leader. I didn't want to simply tell people where to go and what to do, and I didn't want to be that controlling. However, when we started playing, it became really clear that someone needed to take control. Someone needed to prioritize the chat so that 6 people weren't just trying to talk all at once and get completely confused. So I did that. I communicated. I prioritized people, tried to make sure everybody was heard, and make sure everybody voiced their opinions and had their questions answered. And it's a role I've taken on before, and it's one I'm comfortable with, but I always try to make sure that everybody I'm with is comfortable with that, and we were. As we move forward, communication smoothed out, and everybody kind of understood where their strengths and weaknesses were, and everybody was able to contribute to the plan. The next issue we had was a little bit of miscommunication. Most of us didn't have very much experience with the raid, and as such, we didn't exactly know what to do. And there were a couple of moments where we wasted a little bit of time trying to do something that we didn't end up having to do. Find you activate them, you can unlock and find certain objects. Most of us didn't really care about those objects because we were there to beat the raid. Some of us did care about the objects and they were in pursuit of that, so we had to kind of work that out. The next thing, and the most important thing, and the kind of all-encompassing aspect that I want to talk about is something I like to call party cohesion. So you hear this a lot when you are... oh, hold on. Getting surrounded here. You hear expressions like this a lot when you're discussing teamwork, you know, that there's... we're all part of the same team. We're all on the same team. And this is repeated often in team meetings, in sports, organizations. What I like to think of it is kind of an unwritten set of rules, an unwritten set of protocol that basically demands that every person must work in the benefit of the team. So for a raid in Destiny, every person is trying to work to complete the raid together. No one is rushing forward and trying to do everything themselves. No one is falling behind and letting the rest of the team carry them through. And every person is trying to work together in the benefits, the best benefits of the team. However, sometimes this requires compromise. This requires a person to step back or to step up, and it's just a social thing that is not exactly taught, but it is very important to learn. If you are playing on a team and the team is trying to take things very slow and methodical, and you want to rush ahead because you've been playing for a long time or because you know what to do and or whatever, you have to be considerate of your fellow team members. You have to understand where they're coming from. At the same time, those fellow team members should realize, hey, we're taking a little bit longer than we should. Let's speed up to a happy medium. Same thing with communication. Perhaps you have a question that needs asked, but it's not that urgent, or you have something you want to do, and other people are talking. Sometimes you have to compromise. People don't like that word compromise. They think it means weakness, but sometimes you have to just take a step back, relax, and let other people make the decisions. Let other people speak. And sometimes, if you do step forward, you have to trust that the other people will relax and let you speak and let you lead if you want. And the rest of the team has to be willing to do that. So, like I said, it's a bit vague and it's a bit challenging for some people, but it is an incredibly important aspect. And most of the time, I'm sure, it doesn't even really come up. I mean, if you're playing with a group of your friends, you all know each other. You know what you like and what you don't. And you know everybody's personalities. However, if you're playing with a group of strangers, the only real coordination you're going to have is with whoever the party leader is. Whoever brought you all together in the first place is kind of the only one who has any authority on whether or not you can, any authority on how you can act or how you should act. Oh, gonna die. Hold on. Talking about teamwork, and I'm all by myself here. There we go. Now, I've played some games before where I have not exactly been part of a team, even though I was supposed to be, and I just kind of joined randomly. The game kind of matched me up with a group of like-minded or people working on the same mission. And sometimes it's been great. People have escorted me through and guided me and been really pleasant. But a lot of times, and unfortunately with the internet, you get this a majority of the time, sometimes I've played and people just run through the mission. They don't coordinate. They don't handle things in a manner that I think is appropriate. And, you win some, you lose some. It happens for every team, but I think I think it is really important in a game like Destiny where... Oh, hold on. This guy is going to crush me. There we go.
Crota, they're waking him.
So, as I said, I think it's an incredibly important aspect, and it's something that not a lot of people think about, fewer people talk about, but if you're playing on a team-based arena, try to take a step back and just observe the dynamics of the team. See what's needed. See what's needed, see what's not. Try to understand where people are coming from. Obviously, compromise, but prioritize. What is needed in this team? Do you need someone to be aggressive? Do you need someone to step up? Or do you already have someone to do that and you're just doing it because you're impatient? Trust me, if I could hit with this sword, I would have a better time. Maybe I'm a little impatient. You may not like it at the time, but making these concessions for the benefit of the team will actually give you a really great time. I guarantee it. I have only played 2 raids so far, both times with a couple of close friends and half of the team complete strangers, but we've had an excellent time. Everybody's worked hard to ensure that everybody has an equal role. Everybody's kept each other safe. And it's been some of the best and most exciting times in this game. I mean, I have hours and hours of gameplay under my belt in Destiny, and I've probably never had as much fun as I did during the raids. Anyway, I'm just about ready to wrap this up. Turns out this mission is a little bit longer than the comments I had for it, but it'll give me a bit of time for my salutation. Anyway, what do you think? I'm sure a lot of people, anybody watching this, probably has a lot of experience with the raids. Perhaps you've, you've run through them quickly. You've beaten them numerous times. You have a fire team that you know and trust. I'd be more than willing to hear from people as to their raiding experience, what they like, what they don't, what they think works, any advice they have for bringing new members into the raid. Where is this final? Oh, there we go. Yeah, and just any advice you have for bringing new people into your group and how that can work best. Feel free to leave a comment below if you've been liking the content of these videos. I'm trying to put out 1, maybe 2 videos a week. I have some interesting stuff that I'm working on, improving the quality of the content, as well as the just audio-video performance of this channel. And if you do have something interesting to add, feel free to comment, like, or subscribe. And yeah, I'm just going to stop talking and hopefully beat this guy. Or die trying, apparently. There we go. Wonder if this will work. Probably not. Another good rule is if you are playing in a team, don't be suicidal. Nobody likes that. It makes things quite difficult and challenging. Probably going to back up and sign off here. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.